Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute leaf-shaped bookmark that is really quick and easy to make and a perfect project for beginners. It is super functional and it only requires a few simple stitches to make, and I walk you through all of them in this video. All you are going to need for this project is a green yarn of your choice. I'm using this Wait For acrylic yarn by the brand Loops and Threads, and I'm going to be using a 4.5mm crochet hook. And then you're going to need a pair of scissors and then a tapestry or darning needle so that you can weave in all of your loose ends. So the first step is to make a chain of 48 stitches. I will show you first how to make a slip knot. So what I like to do is rest the yarn over two of my fingers, and then I wrap it around and make an X shape, and then I flip my fingers over. And I will rest the yarn on top of my ring finger and hold it with my pinky, and then I'll take my crochet hook and go underneath the right hand strand and grab the left one, and then pull my fingers out and then pull my hook while holding the other two ends. And then you'll see when you pull the working yarn, you could tighten it so that it is not loose on your hook. And to perform a chain, you're going to yarn over and then pull through the loop on your hook. And this is kind of up to you whether or not you want your bookmark to be longer or not, but I think that a chain of 48 is the perfect amount that fits like most average size books. So I'm just going to continue repeating, yarning over and pulling through, which is how you complete a chain, and I'm going to keep going until I have 48. Okay, so here we have my chain of 48 stitches, and from here we are going to begin to make the first leaf. We are going to start by performing a slip stitch in the second stitch from our hook, and so not this one but this one. And to do a slip stitch, we take our hook and go into our stitch, yarn over and pull through a loop, and then we're going to pull this loop on the left through the loop that was already on our hook, and there we have our first slip stitch. And then from here, we are going to do a single crochet in the next stitch, which to do that, we insert our hook in the second stitch, yarn over, pull through. We have two loops on our hook, and then we yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. And now we are going to do a half double crochet, and to do that, we start by yarning over before we insert our hook into the next stitch. So then we put it into our third stitch, yarn over again, and pull through, and you should have 3 loops on your hook. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. And now the next step is to do a double crochet, and if you're not familiar, you're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the 4th stitch, yarn over, pull through. So then we have 3 loops on our hook once again, except this time we're going to yarn over and only pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on our hook. And now to make the leaf slope back in, we're going to repeat what we did but backwards from the double crochet. So we're going to go back and do a half double crochet in the next stitch. So yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through all 3 loops on our hook. And then we're going to do a single crochet, so just insert our hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on our hook. And finally, we're going to do a slip stitch in this next stitch, so just insert our hook, yarn over, pull through a loop, and pull this loop through the loop that was already on our hook. So we have the first side of our first leaf. Next, what I'm going to do is move our tail end of our bookmark over here so that we can grab this working yarn from behind it and turn our project sideways. And what we're going to do is continue the same pattern that we did and just do it on the opposite side of our chain. And so the last stitch we put in was here, so we're going to start with a slip stitch in this side of our chain. And we're going to yarn over, pull through, and then pull this through, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch. And then we are going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. And then following that, a double crochet. and then we're going to go in reverse once again from the double crochet, so a half double crochet. And then we're going to do a single crochet. And lastly, a slip stitch once again in the next stitch. And now I'm just going to do one more slip stitch into the original chain that we first started working out of. So this loop right here. I'm just going to insert my hook and put one more slip stitch in right here. And that's so that we really just come to a point at the end of our leaf. And so now when you see the center of the leaf, you can see that there's holes from the way that our chain is opening up. And so to close that up and then begin our next leaf, I'm just going to look where I see a hole and put a slip stitch all the way down in the center of this leaf. And you'll see that it makes the leaf just look a lot more clean, and you're going to want to keep on going until you could put one in the last chain that we were working into when we started the first half of the leaf. And so now you can see we have one leaf with a nice pretty slip stitch going down the center. And so from here, all we have to do is chain 8. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're just going to repeat the same process of the leaf. And then once we kind of get to the end here, this center portion, I'm just going to put one more slip stitch along this edge. And now that we've gone back to the center, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook underneath and grab the yarn and kind of do one last slip stitch that holds it all together. There's kind of a hole of where our first leaf started. I'm going to go into that hole and also do another slip stitch and pull it tight just to finish it all off nicely. And then to kind of make a knot so this doesn't unravel, I'm going to just do one more yarn over, pull through, and kind of make a chain and pull it tight. And then I'm going to cut off the excess yarn and pull this all the way through and really pull it tight. And there we have it. We already have our whole bookmark, and all that's left now is to weave in the ends. As you can see, where we started the project, we have the side that has like the V shape of the chain, and then this side has only more like one loop in the back. So what I'm going to do is just thread the needle, and then I'm going to just go back and forth into the loops of the back. So go through one side and then come back going the other way. Pull it tight. Go into another loop. Pull it tight. My tail end was kind of short, but just go into one more. And then after that, I like to go backwards one time into one of the loops I already went into and just pull it through. Then I'm just going to clip off this end. And when you pull it, it hides and tucks itself in. And then for this end, this tail end, this one will be a lot easier to weave in because I made it a lot longer. But I will just once again thread my needle, and I will start by kind of taking my needle into the center part and pulling through. And then what I'll do is go through the back of the leaf, kind of going in a similar pattern as I did with the other end of just going back and forth through a couple of the stitches. Once I do a few, I skip one of the loops that I went through and kind of try and go back the same direction. Honestly, however you weave in ends, as long as the thing doesn't fall apart and you can't see them too much, I think it's perfectly fine. And then after I do that a couple times, I'm just gonna snip off this end as well. And there we have it. That is how you make these super cute leaf bookmarks. I think they're super easy and a perfect beginner project. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comments, and if you want to see any other tutorials from me in the future, just let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!